Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on live stream music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, come in again today. You're very, very welcome. How great to see everybody back. I trust you enjoyed my last video on country singer BJ Thomas. And through his song, it was great to look at his life through the lens of the song Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head from the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in the 1960s. So I trust you found that one encouraging. We're going from there to 1907 in Rochester, New York, Cab Calloway III, or as he was known, Cab Calloway. Now, in his teenage years, he was a bit of a hustler. He kind of got a little bit of change where he could, either shining shoes or throwing dice on the steps of a church, and it was a bit of an interesting start for him. He was a bit of an entrepreneur, let's just say, and he spent time in and out of reform school. But it wasn't long before he found an interest in music, and of course, Cab Calloway was a band leader and jazz singer, and a few other things, and movie actor, and quite a few things, and so. It wasn't long before he discovered that music was a pretty amazing thing. In fact, it was around the 1930s, 40s that he became quite famous band leader in the famous Cotton Club in Harlem. Everybody who was anyone played there, including Duke Ellington, Dizzy Gillespie, and a few others. We've got those two guys coming up in a while, actually. We've got a bit of a bluesy, jazzy kind of group of people going through at the moment. And what Cab is famous for is scat singing. Now, we're going to get onto the song that you have to talk about when you talk about this guy in just a little tick. But as I said, famous band leader in the 1930s and 40s. In fact, he was the band leader for some of these iconic jazz musicians, and certainly well established himself as a career. He was in the Billboard charts pretty well all of his 65 years of career. So pretty amazing for him to have that accolade. But it was around 1931 he recorded his signature tune, Minnie the Moocher. It's a sad tale of unrequited love and, guys with more money than me and all the rest of it. But Minnie did what he did, and he survived his life. That single was very, very significant. He was the first African American to sell over 1 million copies of a single. This single was so iconic, it got a Grammy Hall of Fame nomination for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And it also got put into Library of Congress for a significant song. It was because of that song that he became known as the Heidi Ho Man. Now, we'll get on to another clip of this song in a minute, which we got famous all the way forward in 1980. So we've got a clip of Minnie the Moocher around the time it was recorded. It was also another, as I said, band leader, and so we've got a performance of kicking the gong around. The great thing about Cab Calloway, I can't get my words out today, is he's just his sense of fun, and he was always into encouraging the audience to join in and to just repeat the lines after him. And of course, he did some pretty amazing lines. It's very hard to repeat what the stuff he was doing. But because of that, people just had an absolute ball with him. He was just an iconic, well-loved character. And I just want to go back to Minnie the Moocher for a second, because there was an interview with him that said that why did he do the scat singing that he did was because he said he forgot the lyrics. Hardy, 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 ho. And then he just did other things. And of course, you've got to have just a natural rhythm and ability about you to be able to do scat singing as good as this guy, as well as this guy actually could. And you just had to have that vibe about you, that just an effortless vibe that made you just do what you needed to do. But this concept of forgetting lyrics has got me thinking a little bit more today about, what do we do when we don't have the words we need to say? We might want to say something, but we don't quite have the actual physical words to say. But you need to say something, right? So what do? It might be something a little bit awkward. You don't want to say it and thinking, well, I really don't want to say this, but I need to. You need to say something. What do? Well, you don't actually just hit people with stuff. Sometimes you've got to warn them. Like in sitcoms we have, now here's the thing. That's sometimes a way to say it. One thing that I do sometimes, I say, hey, look, this is a bit of a ... moment. What do you mean by that? Well, often in literature, there might be a sentence with the three ... dots afterwards, basically saying the sentence is continuing in some sort. We're just not completely sure what it is. If anything, a ... moment gives us an opportunity to think, hey, what is that next thing I need to say? Now that I've actually opened up this conversation, I need to finish it off. So giving people the opportunity to get ready for something that needs to be said, or getting an opportunity for your brain to catch up with the fact that you've actually committed to this thing now and you need to say it. Saying, hey, look, I've got a bit of a ... moment at the moment. Or it could be that you're having an absolutely incredible time and what's actually happening is beyond words, and you say, hey, just having a bit of a ... moment right now. How cool is that? I can't put into words how excited I am at the moment. So it's a little technique that I use. Having a ... moment. There was an ad on television once where a bunch of kids were sitting around a bushfire. It's amazing what you remember, or bonfire, I should say. And the guy said, hey, I'm having a bit of a moment right now. And someone said, yes, it is a little bit momenty. I think there's something good about the fact to acknowledge and to mark the times which means something to us. So perhaps use as Cab Calloway in Minnie the Moocher did when he forgot the lyrics, but created an absolutely iconic thing instead. Saying ... could be a way of actually easing into the conversation that little bit further. There's something cute, something a little bit corny about it, something a little bit unexpected about it, and people are going, oh, what do you mean by that? You get asked a question, right? You can then give an answer. But ... is a way of easing into it. So I didn't quite know where I was going to go today, but I thought ... might have been it, sort of based on the scat singing of Cab Calloway. So we've got as I was going to go on before I went back to that, we've got Kickin the Gong around 1932 again, just shows him with his big band and what he was like. He was a very effervescent guy. He used to prance around the stage and have his big arms waving, just taking on the characters so well. And so he was a pretty amazing guy to be part of. He was part of many movies. In fact, there were 25 movies / short appearances between 1932 and 1990. We've got Stormy Weather from 1943. It was a movie. Here we got him doing scat singing. Again, no one does it better than this guy. When you don't want to sing the words, you just want to sing unknown syllables and words. That's what scat singing is. It just really captures you and takes you into different places. Because as I said last time, music is a language of the heart, and sometimes the heart needs to just do what the heart needs to do, and to just embrace what it needs to do. And here we've also got the famous Nicholas Brothers doing some dancing as well. We then go forward to the Ed Sullivan Show around 1960s. If you made it on the Ed Sullivan Show, you know you'd made it. And to have a jazz great like this guy on the show, pretty amazing. It ain't necessarily so. Just a really cute song. Again, we've got the echoing with the audience happening there. And again, he's telling a story. This guy's a storyteller. And to be able to just get carried away with these guys' characters, which he kind of impersonates a little bit as well, it's just an all-round Cab Calloway experience. And this is what made him so iconic and so special. And who would have thought, all the way forward in 1980, some 59 years after Minnie the Moocher was recorded, this little movie, Blues Brothers, would come out. Now, I've already done Everybody Needs Somebody a long time ago from the Blues Brothers, but it's great to focus on Cab Calloway a little bit more today. He was a bit of a guy that just helped them on the mission from God as they went to pay the taxes for the orphanage. We're on a mission for God. If you haven't seen the Blues Brothers, do yourself a favour and watch it. 120 cars got wrecked in this movie. Really, really good movie. It's really worth watching. It's quite funny. And so we've actually got the clip of Minnie the Moocher here. Um, this is the ballroom at the end of the movie. Won't say any more than that if you haven't seen it. Pretty iconic scene in this movie. And of course, the boys are running late, so Cab Calloway does what he does best and does Minnie Moocher. And just watch the audience here. This would have been his norm through his career, having this kind of feedback, because everybody loves and knows this song. And so we've got Minnie the Moocher, and we've got it going back to the two Blues Brothers actually just doing bits and pieces as they're trying to escape the sticky situation they're in. So of course we had to have return Cab Calloway for that iconic role. So Cab Calloway has stacks of albums and singles between 1932 and 1990. As I said, 25 movies / short appearances, a few awards, honorary doctorate from the University of Rochester, which is pretty amazing. He's been inducted into the Big Band Hall of Fame, the Jazz Music Hall of Fame, the International Jazz Music Hall of Fame. He received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and National Medal of Arts from the US Congress. And so it's pretty significant to get all those awards, acknowledged not just by the industry, also by the academics, also by the government. So Cab Calloway is an absolute treasure, who unfortunately is no longer with us, dying in the early 1990s. So it's great to give this guy a bit of a go today as we continue on through this series of life reflections through music and remembering people who absolutely need a go. And even if the Calloway family are watching, thank you for this gift of this guy that you brought and let loose on the world. Absolutely. So, ... moments. You might find yourself using this phrase. I'm having a ... moment right now. Just stay with me for a second. I've got some words to say. They're just not there right yet, but they're coming. So I trust you find that bit of a quirky take on stat singing / I don't know what to say moments in this video today. Well, if you come back for another one, if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, this strange little channel, you know, it's quite amazing how places we go with this channel. We go all over the place. And I don't have a particular theme, we tend to just go with whoever's next. So next time, so thank you for everyone for being here. It's so good to see you all here. Next time we're going to go on to Carol Bayer Sayer. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.